This is a sandwich that has Romans lining up down the block, featuring homemade juicy porchetta, earth-shattering crispy skin, and we're leveling up a bit with a fresh Italian salsa verde that you'll want to put on everything. So let's get going, because today we're making Welcome. So, a porchetta sounds more intimidating than it actually is. We're basically just going to open up a pork belly, throw in some herbs and spices, roll it up, and roast it. It's great for the holidays, for sandwiches, you name it. First things first is we want to get our rub together, and there's a few ways to do this, but here's how I like to do mine. First, we're going to get a super fine dice on our alliums. For a medium-sized porchetta like the one we're making today, I like to use 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. And while it's not strictly traditional, I like to throw in some shallots. I find that the sweet flavor of the shallots cuts through the richness of the pork really nicely. We want to go super fine with these. We want them to almost melt into the meat by the end. Now that we got the alliums out of the way, we're going to start processing our herbs. And I'm going to be using a combination of rosemary, thyme, and sage. If you're looking to be a purist with the herbs and spices, I'd say more on the traditional side would be more simple with just rosemary, garlic, salt, pepper, and fennel. And you could also throw all the herbs, spices, garlic, and shallots into a food processor, but I like working with my hands. I also need to sharpen my knife soon anyways, so might as well. I always find it really satisfying to get everything together nice and organized before assembly, so I'm not scrambling to find things with porky fingers. Today, we're using a skin-on pork belly. Look for the leanest one you can find. First, we're going to butterfly this open. That way, we have extra surface area to apply more of our delicious rub. I find the easiest way is to aim for the dead center and make slow and steady, confident cuts while rolling it back. Porchetta originated in central Italy, though there is some debate about it. Food historians, give your take in the comments below because I'm definitely curious to learn more. Then we're going to generously, and I mean generously, salt this thing. Traditionally, porchetta was the whole pig that they debone and roll up, but more commonly these days, you'll see a belly like this, or a belly section with the loin or pork chop section still attached. I asked my butcher, but they didn't have one available for a few days, and then I got lucky finding this one at Costco. It was actually a pretty good deal. You could also find them at most Asian markets. Next, we're going to go on with our garlic and shallot mixture. As always, the full recipe is available for free in the link down below. Then I'm going to get a generous layer of white and black pepper. I like using white pepper whenever I have an opportunity because it has more earthy and fermenty notes that always pair nicely with meats. I'm adding a generous sprinkling here of olive oil. I find it helps the herbs stick better to the meat and it adds a nice flavor. Then we're going to go on with the herb mixture that we made earlier with rosemary, thyme, and sage. And you can feel free to experiment here a bit with fennel or parsley. Use whatever you want. And optionally, you can get on some red pepper flakes if you like a little bit of heat. You want to take your time, have a little bit of fun. I find topping porchettas to be strangely therapeutic. You can get your family involved, just have fun with it. Coming to the end of our spice mixture here, we're just going to get the zest of 1 lemon and 1 orange. I like to top it with a bit more olive oil and then get to patting everything in nice and gently. Take a second to admire your work, and then we're going to get to rolling this thing. No need to overcomplicate it, basically just roll it up as tight as you possibly can. Any little end bits that start to poke out, shove them back in or trim them at the end, really doesn't matter. Then last thing before we tie this thing up is to just get some gentle scoring into the meat. This is going to help some of the fat come to the surface, render, and help us with our crisp. And you can also do this before butterflying while it's still flat, but I always forget. Then we're going to roll it up nice and tight using whatever method that you like. I find using individual sections of string is the easiest. That way you don't have to connect them and do the whole crochet thing that I can never get quite right. I like to start in the middle and get them as tight as possible. Roast masters, put your tips in the comments down below. And by roast masters, I mean people that roast meats, not don't roast me. Thanks. You want to shoot for the most even spacing that you can. And after some off-camera adjustments, this is what it's looking like. If you have the time, I'd let this sit uncovered in the fridge for a day or up to 3 days to let the skin dehydrate, which is going to give us a better crisp. Then we're going to go into a 475 degree oven for the first part of the cook. And I'm throwing in a couple cloves of garlic here. You'll see why in a minute. So like I said, we're doing 475 for the first 30 minutes to an hour or so. And since my oven is a bit sluggish, I'm going to go more towards an hour. Our goal with the high heat is to render the fat in the skin and get a nice golden exterior. At this point, you should have a decent crisp on the skin and some good color, but we're still going to get some more, don't worry. Then we're going to drop the temp to about 275 for around 2 hours or so, or until it hits 170 degrees internal. In the meantime, let's talk sauce. We're going to make an Italian salsa verde or chimichurri-ish topping for our sandwich. And since I tend to avoid raw garlic like the plague, we're going to use this nice roasted garlic that was in the oven with our pork. Then we're going to get in 1 whole shallot. In my opinion, raw shallots are way more palatable than raw garlic. And besides, half my channel is me chopping shallots anyway, so why not? Next, we're going to get in some herbs. And I'm going with 2 parts parsley to 1 part cilantro, but use whatever you want here. Next, I'm going to chop up maybe a tablespoon or so of capers for that nice briny bite that they add, followed by a nice squeeze of fresh lemon for some acid. In addition to the lemon, we're also going to add some red wine vinegar in the acid department, which is going to help us sort of layer the acidity with some different flavors. Then I'm going to get in a little bit more olive oil, followed by a generous pinch of salt, some cracked black pepper, and some red pepper flakes for the heat and the color, and a little bit more olive oil for good measure. This is so packed with flavor and bright, it's going to really cut the richness of the porchetta so nicely. Which, speaking of, it's time. You really want to let this thing rest for at least 15 minutes bare minimum. And can't forget the obligatory knife scrape, right? Then we'll get a nice rustic roll into the oven. And after our painful 15-minute wait, let's cut into this. Moment of truth. All right, good sign. Wow. Get that out of the way. Oh my goodness. We've done very well here today. Now, only thing left to do is to slice it into nice thin to medium-sized slices. We want each bite of the sandwich to have some nice body to it. Porchetta is super versatile. It doesn't have to be a sandwich. You can serve it up during the holidays with some nice potatoes, some Swiss chard, have a little bit of fun. Then we're going to take our crispy pork skin and we're going to slice it into little bite-sized pieces. We'll scatter a few pieces into the sandwich for some textural contrast. Alright, our bread is nice and warmed through, but not so toasty that it's going to cut up the roof of our mouth. And before we assemble, I wanted to let you guys know that if you've been digging the background music, I write and produce it all myself, and it's available on streaming platforms under the artist name Jandre FM. And you can download the files for free on my Patreon. No sign up required. My channel isn't big enough for sponsors yet, but on Patreon I'll be posting additional recipes, videos, behind the scenes, and more. So feel free to head over to Patreon for a free or paid membership. With that out of the way, it's time to build. We want to get a generous, and I mean super generous, portion of the porchetta right onto the bread. There's really no need for mayo or any other condiments on here because the pork is so rich and fatty that it's all you need. We really want to let that pork just sing. Then we'll get a few pieces of the crispy and crackly pork skin. The little surprise bits of crunch are potentially the best part of the sandwich. Well, maybe I spoke too soon actually, because this verde is a close contender. Save the rest because it's great over chicken, fish, steak, literally everything. I usually have some form of this in my fridge at all times. Alright, let's get the top bun on there. See what I'm talking about? Piling the meat high, letting the pork sing, and there it is. The fruit of our labor. Alright, let's see how we did. Damn. The pork is so juicy and flavorful. All the spices and aromatics really come through, even down to the orange zest. The salsa verde is so bright and refreshing, really cuts through the fat. This is a sandwich that's truly worth the wait. Alright, we did it. Give a like, subscribe. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.